Let's talk about the messy, rewarding, and sometimes frustrating journey of growth and personal development. Have you ever wondered what truly fuels your self-improvement, or why it can feel so hard to stay motivated? Yeah, me too. I'm right there with you. So today, I want to tackle how to handle these ups and downs that you will experience through your journey. It's not a matter of if you will experience it, it's a matter of when you will experience it, because you know it's going to happen. It's not going to be a perfect journey. By the end of this video, I hope that you will have a fresh perspective on what drives your individual growth, and maybe even find some clarity on what's been holding you back this whole time. If all of this resonates with you, hit that like and subscribe button for more conversations like this one every single week. Let's get started. So, you know that pull, that internal pull you feel to be better, to do better, to grow, to evolve constantly. Well, I've been thinking a lot about what really fuels this issue, and honestly, how easy it is to get stuck along the way. We put so much pressure on personal development, and we try to make it sound all big and fancy and official, but at its core, it's just about figuring out who you are and how to show up as the version of yourself that you want to be. And that doesn't mean it focuses on hustling or meeting all those goals or ticking off a ton of habits that other people are doing and you want to do it too. It's about understanding what drives you, what holds you back, and what makes the journey actually worth it for you. That's the important question, making it worth it for you, not what all the experts are telling you is worth it. You got to really reflect on this for yourself. And that can happen in these little everyday things that we do. Figuring out who you are at your core isn't about having huge breakthroughs every single day or every week. I mean, that can be part of it. But really, you're figuring it out through those everyday choices that you make. Did you show up early to something today? Or were you running late? How did that punctuality make you feel? What did you choose to wear and why? What did you choose to eat and why? What did you choose to do and why? The list goes on and on. It's all these little choices that you make that add up into who you are. But again, I don't want you to put too much pressure on all of this, because not every single choice that you make needs to be labeled as an important choice. That's where we can get stuck. It's about how they add up over time. So maybe you were running a little bit late today and that's not the norm for you, so you felt bad about it. That's just a simple identifier. It's a light bulb in your brain saying, oh, like, I don't like to be late. I don't like that. I don't want to keep doing that. So this feeling is an identifier to you to tell you what you like and what you don't like and the type of person that you want to be. That single occurrence of you being late today, that's not a big deal. It happened once. It's about how it happens over time and how it makes you feel. Okay? So let me ask you, when was the last time that you truly felt stuck in life? Like, no matter how many self-help books you read or strategies from the experts that you tried, things just felt off. You felt stuck. You didn't know which direction you should be going in. You're having trouble staying motivated. You're having trouble getting clear on what you want, or even drowning in too much advice, that information overload from all of these videos and things that we see on social media and media in general. We've all been there. For me, one of the biggest roadblocks was realizing that I didn't even know what my goals were. I'd been chasing things because I thought I should chase those things, but not because they actually mattered to me. That shift, realizing that I was living someone else's version of success, that changed everything for me. And so I'm going to be honest here. Realizing that those life goals weren't mine also clued me into the fact that I'm not good at defining goals. This is one of my big realizations a couple of weeks ago that I've kind of had to settle with and process for a while. And notice I said defining goals. I'm not bad at setting goals, but I have vague visions of how I want something to turn out. But attaching measurements and benchmarks and timelines to those goals is really, really hard for me. So again, that was something that I found out about myself through everyday life. I was like, oh, I'm not setting the right goals here, but I don't really know how to do that and I need help. But the point here is that goal defining is one of my roadblocks. That's something that I'm working through, actively working through right now. But this is how I want you to work through things that when you find your roadblocks as well. Okay. So notice what you've been doing, how it makes you feel, and if you want to continue doing it in that direction, or if you want to change paths and try something different. Those are the three main steps to creating change. Notice something, see how it makes you feel, and then make a choice about it. When you break it down like that, it doesn't sound too bad. Okay. So now let's move on to the motivation aspect of this. You know how it goes. You start something new, you're full of excitement, but then life happens, you get some distractions along the way, and then the fire just fizzles out. Sometimes it's a fear of failing and you realize how hard it might be, so you pull back and you kind of pretend like you don't care about it anymore, but really you're just have a fear of failing it. And sometimes it's also that information overload or overwhelm. There's so much going on and you just don't know how to rein it all in. And honestly, sometimes it's just because you don't even care about the thing that you're trying to do. And again, this goes back to something that you're doing it just because you think that you should. It's not something that necessarily needs to be in your life, but you've been told that it should be in your life, so you pretend to care about it. And then you don't have any motivation to complete it. Okay, so then here's another biggie in the realm of self-improvement barriers. The people around you. And I know I talk about this a lot. Some people light you up, while others drain every ounce of energy that you've got. Think about those two differences in the people that are in your life. After this video, I want you to sit there and think about the two different parties that people in your life belong in. Do they give you energy? Do they support you? Or do they drain the energy from you? Your environment that you surround yourself with matters a lot. Who you listen to, what you consume, your mindset about things, and how you talk to yourself can either push you forward or pull you back. And so let's talk about mindset for a second. If you've ever caught yourself thinking, it's okay, I'll do that when I'm ready, or I'll never be good enough for this, I'm not even going to try, that's your fixed mindset creeping in. And I've definitely been there. I know how that feels, especially when those perfectionism tendencies are involved. I am the type of person who I procrastinate because of perfectionism. If I don't think that I'm going to be good at something, or if I need to ask for help to complete something, I'm going to procrastinate. I'm going to put that thing off. I'd rather try to handle it myself, handle it on my own later when I have more information than to risk not doing it the correct way right off the bat. Raise your hand if you are in this club with me. It kind of sucks, but we're going to work through it. So here's the thing. Perfectionism doesn't just keep us from trying. It keeps us from growing. Every time that we give in to that mindset, we reinforce the belief that it's safer to stay stuck than to take a chance and risk failure. And that's a hard cycle to break, because the more we put things off, the bigger and scarier they're going to feel in the end. Suddenly, something that could have been a small task feels like a mountain that you now have to climb. And it didn't have to be that way. But this fear made you feel stuck and paralyzed you from making decisions earlier on. And so now you're having to deal with it in a different way. But the game changer for me was learning to question those thoughts, those self-doubt thoughts, instead of actually believing them. It's not about being perfect. It's about shifting how you talk to yourself when things do feel hard. I started asking myself, okay, what's the worst that could really happen if I mess this up? Maybe I'll get a little bit embarrassed, but where's that embarrassment stemming from? Do I actually need to be embarrassed by this? Or is this like actually an adult thing that we need to learn? So we're allowed to learn things along the way. Or also asking myself, what's one small thing that I can do today to make progress on this? What's just one small thing that can help me go in the right direction? And that helps you get stuck from that paralyzing fear of not doing it correct the first time. And you know what? 9 times out of 10, that fear wasn't justified. It wasn't justified. It wasn't as big as I thought it needed to be. It's not easy, but it's a practice. And it's one that gets a little less daunting and a little less overwhelming every time we choose progress over perfection. So here's the real question for you today. What fuels your growth? What fuels your growth? For me, it's been about getting real with myself and asking what I actually want, breaking it down into bite-sized pieces, and then reminding myself that it's okay to do it messy. Okay, so here's your mindful action for this week. I want you to take a pause and reflect, which this should come as no surprise to you because this is half of what your mindful actions are. But this week, I want you to focus on what's been holding you back from growing into the person you want to be. What's been holding you back? Maybe it's fear. Maybe it's being overwhelmed and not really knowing where to start something. Or maybe you're just tired. Maybe you're tired and you need a break. Whatever it is, I want you to name it. Name that barrier and then ask yourself, what's one small thing that I can do to shift that perspective today? Growth isn't about arriving at some perfect destination. It's about moving forward, one intentional choice at a time. So now I want to keep this conversation going. I'd love to hear from you too. What's your biggest roadblock in your personal development journey? Or one of the barriers that you've been dealing with? Let's keep the conversation going in the comments. I think we can inspire each other and get ideas from each other or help each other out on some of these things. And if this hits home, check out some of my other videos, such as the one talking about how believing in yourself is the key to success. That's such an important aspect of life. And I think if you liked this video, that one is really going to resonate with you as well. And if this video gave you something to think about and reflect on today, if you're not already subscribed, what are you waiting for? I am here and I talk every week about overcoming perfectionism and overthinking through mindfulness and mindset and just all these awesome strategies that you can just use in your everyday life. It's not something that you have to shift your whole life in order to succeed at. So hit that subscribe button so that we can keep growing together. All right. As always, stay mindful. Take care of yourself, and I will see you next week.